welcome to the Leadership Lounge. It's great for you to join us again this week, and I'm delighted that I have Laura Baines who's joined us. And Laura is the founder of Embrace Forever Flowers. And I met Laura at a networking event and was struck by her story and the power of how she's used her personal story, which has included huge challenges, to shape her company and shape the difference of the lives of others. So, Laura, welcome to the Leadership Lounge. It's lovely for you to join us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you. Good. So, Laura, as I've just kind of mentioned, you run Embrace Forever Flowers. And those who are watching us on video will see these beautiful flowers next to you. Yeah. We've got some beautiful flowers the other side as well. And both Ben, our videographer, and myself just looked at them, and we cannot believe that these are not real live flowers.
No.
Are they described as artificial flowers?
Artificial, silk, faux, yeah, whatever you want to call them. Some of them are real touch. But yes, they are all artificial.
Yeah, and those who are listening are just going, but I can't see them. So do try and perhaps tune into and look into the video as well, and you said some of them are real touch, and I felt some earlier, and it's just like they are like the real flowers, aren't they?
Yep.
Absolutely amazing.
I've been very selective.
Yeah. So beautiful flowers. So tell us a little bit about Embrace Forever Flowers and what it is you do. Tell us a bit about the company.
Well, I trained as a florist when I was 17.
Yeah.
And then got into a whole world of other jobs that were not relating to what I trained in. And I've always kept my hand in a little bit, doing weddings and funerals and things with people. And 3 and a bit years ago, I had a bit of a breakdown, full-on breakdown.
Yeah.
And ended up being sectioned, spent just over a month in the mental health hospital in Ipswich. And when I came out and my mental health started getting better, my husband said, you need to do something to keep you happier and things. Said, why don't you do your flowers? Because you're good at it, you enjoy it, they cheer you up.
Yeah.
They cheer anybody up because they're just bright and happy and smell nice. These ones obviously don't, but I do put essential oils on some if people want them.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I can't really do that because I've got poor physical health as well. Can't let people down. He said, what about artificial? And I thought, I don't really like artificial flowers. I remember the stuff my grandma had in her bathroom. They looked awful.
Yeah.
But I've had a massive look round at lots of wholesalers, picked out the best of the best, and I came up with the company name in reference to the fact that it was my mental health that brought me back to doing what I trained to do.
Yeah.
So I wanted it to just be called Embrace, but there's another company called Embrace in America, a band, so I can't have that.
Right.
So that's why I put the Forever Flowers on the end.
Yeah.
But Embrace is an acronym, so it stands for Embrace Mental Health Battles, Raising Awareness, Care and Empathy.
So can you say that one through again so our listeners really understand that?
Embrace Mental Health Battles, Raising Awareness, Care and Empathy.
Great.
So I support Suffolk Mind and donate to them with every sale. And I'm trying to, I did the Suffolk show this year, and I did a competition for Suffolk Mind. So I had my Suffolk Mind pot, and somebody won one of my bouquets. So I've started a Just Giving thing for Suffolk Mind. So that'll be added on, and I can just keep adding to that pot, and anybody else, if they want to contribute, can add to that, and then that will go straight to Suffolk Mind, obviously, to hopefully help other people that have been in a situation that I never thought I'd be in, because I was always a bit taboo about mental health and wasn't sure if it was a real thing, and it came and bit me right in the arse.
Yeah.
And it is very real, and it takes over your physical body as well, which kind of I still can't understand it because you think they're different things.
But the body and the mind are connected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when my physical health goes downhill, my husband says my mental health goes downhill. So, like, the last few weeks have been a bit rough because my physical health's gone downhill. So,
Yeah.
my mental health's gone a bit backwards, but I'm now going up again. It's a bit like a crap roller coaster.
Yeah.
And you're like this. And sometimes you want to get off it and you can't because you've got your thing on. But
yeah,
you do get off it at some point.
Yeah. So firstly, just thank you for sharing your story. And I said in our introduction, you've had challenges. And what I loved about your story is not obviously that you've gone through the challenges and you continue, as you've said, to go through challenges. It hasn't stopped for you. It continues to be, as you described, a very unpleasant roller coaster for you. Yeah. But you took that moment. What's interesting, your company started from your husband saying, look, flowers are something you're good at and something that will bring you joy. Why don't you spend some time on those? And as you said, the description of, oh no, false flowers, I've seen Manam one, they were horrible. And probably many listeners like me are going, oh yeah, I remember flowers like that in my nan or my grand's home as well. But what you've done is you've taken that one moment, a little kind of, why don't you do this for yourself to help yourself? And actually it's become the company.
Yep.
And it's become something that not only is helping you, but from some of the money from the sales is going towards supporting Suffolk Mine. So actually, you've taken that situation that's quite challenging and used it for yourself, e.g. the flowers, but you're now using it to help others. So that's a really beautiful story and sits at the heart of what we kind of want to explore today. So you've had this challenge, and it's helped you contribute to setting up this organisation and setting up as Embrace. So I kind of hearing from you the initial bit, e.g. your husband saying, and now you have this kind of company. So tell us a bit about the journey from when your husband said, why don't you do flowers? And you then started to explore some better looking false ones to where you are now. How's that journey gone?
So I spent about a month saying no to my husband. I can't do that.
Yeah.
Kept putting obstacles in the way, like my physical health. I was like, I can't because then I'll let people down, blah, 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 which is why the artificial flowers got suggested, because I can do them. And if I end up in hospital, I'm not letting customers down. They can still, my husband can take over obviously not the arranging, but taking them there. So he just kept badgering me and I was like, okay, maybe I do need to do this. So I was online looking at wholesalers. Yeah. I got my old books out from when I trained as a florist. Mm-hmm. I was just looking at some of my old stuff thinking, I did like doing it. I did. And I bought a few artificial flowers from one of the cheap shop, like, I don't know, it was the Range or Dunelm or somewhere, and thought I'll just get a few from there and have a little play around. Yeah. And they obviously didn't look real, but they were okay. So I thought, so I had a little play around. And obviously I was online looking at other artificial flower companies, but I didn't want to be like all the other artificial flower companies. I didn't want to have one vase with certain flowers because I think everybody is different, and I quite liked the idea of being bespoke. So I said to my husband, okay, we're going to do this. Spent about 3 months trying to think of a name. I wanted it relating to mental health. And then, months of trying to work out how to do websites and things, because I can build you a house in artificial flowers, but I cannot use a computer. I don't like technology. Yeah. It doesn't like me. Yeah. So I did my website. That took about 3 months of me doing it. My husband kept going, haven't you done that yet? Haven't you? I was like, have you ever written one? He went, no. I said, well, there you go then, neither have I. And so I was So that took a long period of time, and then obviously did all the other bits you need to start a business. And then it was then at that point where I've done it now, so I can't back out because I've gone so far now that I need to do it. Started going to networking events to meet people, and then it's just kind of grown from then.
So one sale, then another sale. People talk about what you've done.
Done a wedding, a couple of weddings, done a rugby club ball, but I hire them as well. So the rugby club, they hired the table centre, but they bought the rugby balls because it had rugby balls as part of the centrepiece. Yeah. So I think I matched their brief.
Brilliant.
They seem to be happy, so that's all good. But I did my little affirmation jugs, which are tiny jugs. Well, not tiny like that, little milk jugs. And I chose those as my only new vessel to put flowers in. Yeah. But I got milk jugs because I was thinking back to like years ago when I think it was mainly America, missing children were put on milk bottles and things like that. Yeah. And I kind of thought people's mental health, if their child's missing, probably wasn't great. And I thought it was kind of a mental health link a little bit by having a milk jug. Yeah. And I've called them my positive affirmation jugs because I write a little affirmation on the card for whoever someone's given it to. Brilliant. To cheer them up if they're struggling with their mental health. Yeah, lovely. But yes, and then now I'm where I am now and attempting to do the online shop, which I'm also not very good at. Right. So at the moment, that's work in progress because...
Yeah. What I love about your story, that you've got a challenge, a huge challenge that hit you that sparked this. And as you described earlier, you didn't think mental health was even a thing, but it bit you on the bum was your phrase earlier. That sparked you to do flowers, partly to help you, but realise actually this can help others. And what I'm hearing, you said, I didn't want my flower company to be like the others. And you've talked about this uniqueness. So you've talked about the vases, and I know we were talking beforehand as well around, you go to charity shops, you find vases, you get vases donated. So each one is individual because, as you said, each person's is individual. Yeah. And then you're talking about these affirmation jugs where you put the little affirmation cards with them for whoever the flowers are going to. Yeah. That, again, to me, sounds a really beautiful response and uniqueness that you're seeing in people, which makes you stand out. As you say, as a company, you don't want to be like the others. This is personalised. This is personal as well. Yeah. Your story driving it.
And I think you can tell people to be positive and things, but sometimes you need to see it. So I thought, it's written and they've got it in their kitchen and they walk past. That might just remind them. Yeah, yeah. It's visually sometimes better than...
Yeah. And the arrangement's been done personally by you, and the vases are unique, so they'll never see another one in a vase like, if you're watching this on video again, a vase like that or a vase
not
like that.
Not from me, not unless somebody else has bought one years ago. But yes, so I'm obviously donating to other charities as well.
Yeah, when you're purchasing
some are from antique shops and things, so they're not all donating to a charity, but... Yeah. As many of them as I can are.
Yeah, it's brilliant. What I love about this, and certainly our listeners will be used to me because talking about this, that my latest book, Everyday Alchemy, Transforming Trash into Treasure, this aligns so beautifully with that. So it just strikes me, the parallels with the book. So I talk in the book about, you have moments that you might see as trashy. And if you just see them as trashy moments, they will be trashy moments. But you can transform them into treasure by saying, well, what can I take from this? What can I learn from this? If I sift it, is there any tiny element of gold in this that I can use? And it strikes me you've taken something incredibly hard. You described a breakdown that got you, and you've talked actually that it hasn't. You still have mental health struggles as well, and you've talked about that roller coaster. But you're taking from that, actually, I can use this to make a difference to others, which to me is incredibly powerful. So yeah, kind of. How do you see it as that? How do you transform this trash into treasure then? What is that? Is that purposely part of your story?
Well, I kind of hope, even if one bouquet or one arrangement I sell a year changes somebody's mind
Yes.
to realise their worth
Yes.
and get them out of the very dark hole that
Yeah.
I've been in,
Yeah.
where you sort of feel like you're in a toilet tube and it's blocked and
Yeah.
there's no way out the end of it. There is a way out. It just might take time, and it might be a bit like that.
Bit roller coaster.
Kinks in a toilet roll that aren't normally there. But yeah, I'm just, if I can help somebody just by either just cheering them up
Yeah.
or them having an affirmation jug and it's on the side, and that kicks them back into realising they need to
Yeah.
maybe look after themselves a bit more, or self-care or anything like that. Just that, or just to cheer someone up for their birthday.
Beautiful. And of course, the benefit of your flowers is they don't die, do they?
No, they don't.
You look after them, and they'll be there constantly reminding you of that.
Yep.
Which
They
is
don't
really
need much
beautiful.
looking after. I give them a little cold hair dry on cold setting outside once a month, and they look like they did. I've got some in my house from about 6 years ago, and they don't look any different.
Yeah.
So
It's cold hair dry. Is that because it just blows dust off or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously you can't really use warm because some bits might melt because some bits are plastic.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just take them outside to go like that and give them a little cuddle and put them back.
Yeah. Brilliant. Brilliant.
Talk to them like you do plants.
Yeah. Excellent.
That's why.
So I love your story, that it is taking something that was hard for you. You've found something that helps you, but you're using it also to help others. So it's that paying it forward. It's making a difference to others as part of that process. So what? I mean, I think people listening to your story are hearing quite a powerful message. But what for you is your message, perhaps to people who are struggling maybe in a similar way? You talked about mental health, almost, is it real? And people might be saying it most definitely is. I'm struggling with it.
It is very real.
Yeah. So what's your message to them from your experience?
That it is okay to feel however you're feeling. I wasn't aware that your mind could take over your physical body as well, which is all quite normal. Well, I don't think there is a normal. I would say if you're not okay and somebody says, hi, how are you? You okay? Everyone's automatic. It's a human response, isn't it? Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm all right.
Yeah.
But if you're not, say you're not.
Yeah.
And then somebody, it might be in the same situation, and then you can talk about it, or they can sit and you can rant, or they can listen, or whatever you want them to do. And if you just say, like, oh, if you could just kind of listen, then 99% of humans will do that, won't they? So, but I think everyone's in, and just that's the normal response, isn't it? Everyone is, oh, hi, how are you? You walk past someone in the street and just go, hi, morning. But nobody actually, I don't think COVID helped that either. So I think people need to get back into actually talking.
And being authentic. Just hearing you say what you've said, we were talking a bit beforehand around how we manage that with people. And I was saying to you, I heard a beautiful thing, actually, it was Brené Brown talking about it. Our response could be, what could my support look like for you today then? You know, or our equivalent words to that. What do you need from me? Do you need me just to listen, or do you want me to help you find a way forward? And asking the person what they need from you. And as you said, most of the time, actually, it's just listening. We often say to ourselves, oh, yeah, but I didn't know what to say. Good. We don't need to know what to say. We just need to listen. Listen and sit with the person and be with the person. And just say, yeah, that sounds really tough. And if anything, say, I don't know what to say. I don't have an answer, but it just sounds really tough.
Yeah.
Just that can help. So if any of our listeners are thinking, but I wouldn't know how to support someone with mental health, that would be my first bit. And the other piece of advice I would give actually is to go on to some mental health first aid training. I've done that. I think I found that helpful because it just does begin to allow you to feel confident with just listening, but also knowing ways that we can then support people. So thank you for sharing that again for some of our listeners who are just thinking, yeah, I am struggling and I don't know what to say or do. And equally, some of our listeners going, I don't know what to say or do sometimes when people tell me. Hopefully our bit of conversation there has helped people.
I think everybody struggles with it at varying degrees, a bit like autism and things. I think we're all on a spectrum. It's just unfortunately, I was properly on it for a little while.
Yeah.
So just jump off that little roller coaster for a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully I will never get back to as bad. And I think lots of people out there, if they're where I was, which was I was mute. I wasn't even talking. So if you can believe that.
Yeah, it was a very dark place for you.
So anybody that is there, then just speak to people.
Yeah.
And there are lots of helplines and numbers.
Yeah, and we talked earlier that you make, some of the money from the sales goes towards Suffolk Mind, or if you're listening from outside of Suffolk, Mind generally is a good place to start, isn't it? If you just Google either Mind or Suffolk Mind, their websites there can be really helpful and signposts as a starting point, can't it?
Yeah, and I'm not a counsellor or a professional or anything, but I have been through quite a lot. So even if anyone wants to email me on my website and go, I feel like crap, and have a general chat.
Yeah.
I don't mind people approaching me.
Yeah, and you'll know where to signpost people as well, won't you?
Yeah, I can give some numbers. And
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
So your story reminded me, and we were talking about this beforehand, there's a Zulu phrase called Ubuntu, which I've mentioned in several of the podcasts before. And Ubuntu means I am human because of the other. In other words, caring for others is the beautiful part of what it means to be a human. We see so much in our news and in our world of angry war people, and even on social media, lots of anger and lots of division. And yet, actually, our world is also full of beautiful humans that understand this. And Ubuntu is where we are showing love and care for others. And your story seems full of Ubuntu. So how important is it for you to make a difference to others?
Massively. And sometimes a bit too much. I have been told to be a bit more selfish sometimes.
Okay.
And look after myself a bit more.
Which is important, yeah.
But I do struggle with that because I find it easier to help other people than to help myself.
Yeah.
But I am learning. So I now do a bit more for myself. And if I'm not having a great day, I do say to somebody, I'm really sorry I can't be there for you today, or I just need to do me today.
Yeah.
And I have started saying, whereas normally I'd plod through and then crash when I got home.
Yeah.
So I am trying to take my own advice a bit more. And I think anybody struggling needs to be a bit more selfish if they're like that, and look after themselves. And
that's a great, again, example to some of our listeners, actually, because we'll have a number of people who are our listeners will also want to make difference to others. And recognising sometimes in order to give to others, we also need to have those moments where actually today needs to be a replenished day.
Yeah. It's a bit like the plane, isn't it? When the masks come down, you put them on your children second and me first. But as a mum, your automatic response would be to put it on your children. But actually, then you might not get to do that if you haven't done yours.
So there's a sense
I do try and keep that in my head as well.
Look after myself so that I can help others. So it's really important for you to help others just generally, and your flower business is about helping others, isn't it? Both in cheering people as they receive their flowers and have their messages, but also in terms of a percentage of the profits going towards Suffolk Mind. So it's a double whammy for the flowers as well, isn't it? In being Ubuntu, in making a difference to others,
and hopefully pass on to my girls when I'm not here.
So is that part of your aim for Embrace then, that it becomes something that your children take on as well?
Just because I know, obviously, I have got cancer, should die with it rather than of it, but mine's not really playing ball and it's progressing quicker than it should, and it's not reacting to the chemo like it should. It's doing what it wants, basically. Bit like me. Do what you like. But yes, I'd quite like to plod on and get it to a nice place, so that I'm not sure both my daughters will want to, but one of them shows interest and one doesn't. So one of
Have they done floristry training or just training under your...
No, one's only 9, but she's had a little go. She plays with like the ones that I don't use from going through wholesalers. Lovely. Where I've been like, yeah, they're not good enough. So she's got those.
Is floristry.
Yeah, so she
lovely.
Plays and makes vases. So we have got some of the ones she's done around the house.
Oh, lovely, lovely. So that's her equivalent of when children do a painting for mummy.
Yeah.
She's done a flower arrangement.
Yeah, she did one for Nanny, and so I think she would probably be interested. I don't think the eldest will. She's not.
She's not so interested.
No.
Yeah.
But she could do the paperwork side.
She could be the business side of it. Yeah, absolutely. So
not at all.
We're just thinking as well in terms of as a business. A number of people who listen to this are business owners, and so running businesses, we have all sorts of challenges. You know, it's about how do I find customers? How do I maintain them? How do I deal with some of the challenges that are thrown up? What sort of challenges do you find in just running your business and running Embrace Forever Flowers? What challenges? Or is there no challenges at all?
There's loads, but I think my main ones are the tech side I really struggle with. Like my online shop's under maintenance at the moment because I'm still trying to work out because I'm not very good at the technical side of things. And because I am quite a new business, I think that's part mental health as well. You do have to keep in your... It could be quite easy to give up because you're not making millions.
Yeah.
Or you might not have made anything that month. So it could be quite easy to give up, but mentally you just kind of need to keep at it and realise that businesses take a while they don't just go like that overnight.
Absolutely.
You've got to work at it and plod on, a bit like life. Plod on.
Yeah.
Put my makeup on, smile.
So I think you're right. It's something a lot of business owners, whether you're just starting up or whether you've been established for a while, actually, are those dip months or, like you say, the months where, okay, well, money's come in, but we don't necessarily seem to have made money.
Yeah.
Our income has matched our outgoing, but we're not making profit in these months, and that can be hard, can't it? So managing that. Have you found? I mean, you just said, I just keep plodding, but have you found anything that's helped you manage those kind of months that listeners might find useful?
Mine's kind of been okay because I'm hiring as well, and they're artificial. Stuff can be done well in advance, and so it kind of evens out on mine. Yeah. And obviously I'm not seasonal because they're not real.
Yes. So you're not beholden to which flowers are
coming. So I had one challenge I had when I very first started was because of the quality of them. I actually had someone contact me online to say, I think you're really expensive. I can get like an interfloor. So I had to go back and say they're not fresh flowers. And they were like, oh, I said, obviously. So then I had to change my website to add in the word faux and artificial a bit more. And then I had the same situation at the Suffolk show. Yeah. A lady walked past, she went, oh, I can't go over there. Oh, my hay fever's really bad. And I said, oh, they're artificial. Oh. And then she just walked off. And I thought, oh. So I've had to now get a big sign that says artificial flowers. So I think I haven't kind of done myself that many favours by being so particular on which ones I'm having, but I want it to look real because I think there is a difference receiving fresh flowers to, as in people's faces light up if you take them a bouquet. Yeah. And I think
they light up when they saw these though.
Yeah. Even though they're artificial because they are so lifelike.
Yeah. Well, I love the fact that someone was saying you're too expensive compared to Interflora. They clearly thought they, again, were real flowers.
Yeah,
So.
I had somebody argue with me about these Astro because they are very, very good. And I had to show her the wire in the bottom to prove it. She wouldn't believe me.
Yeah, which is lovely.
They're not.
Yeah.
But yes, and I did have a little lady. She was really lovely at the Suffolk show, and her little face lit up when her daughter bought her something. So
yeah, it's lovely,
I was
isn't
like, yep.
it? Yeah.
I've probably gone off whatever you asked me.
Well, we were talking about how, if you face challenges, how you kind of how you manage it, and in one sense, what I'm drawing out a bit from your story though is you quickly kind of went from I also do the rentals, so there's a dexterity in your business, but you were also looking at where things would work, where they would help. So when you're in the middle of challenge, this feels, this is a tough month or whatever, it's certainly for me as a business owner as well, I go, well, okay, what month is it? Is this part of the normal routine? And I know for my business, it goes quiet at certain parts of the year, just because people aren't looking, in my case, for coaching at Christmas time, and they're not looking for it in August because they're on holiday.
Yeah.
So I know you go, so it's that point in the year. And you're also able to say, yes, but what have I got coming? So you've said, I've got the rental. So, well, that's okay. It's a quiet month this month, but next month I've got that rental going out. So that will bring in some income.
Weddings, Halloween, Christmas.
Yeah. So you're able to look at what's coming ahead as well, to remind yourself of the good and the okay. Okay, it's quieter this month, but I know I've got that coming next month. So if we're having those dip months in terms of income or turnover, we're able to say, okay, it's quiet, but what do I know is coming in, or what do I know business is set up, or what was the rhythm last year? So it's chances are it'll be the same rhythm this year at that point in the year. So I'm picking that even out of your story, even though you're saying, I've wandered off and chatted about my flowers, which of course is important because this is what sits at the heart of what you do.
I always wander off and talk.
Yeah. So we've talked about the reason you set this up, and we've talked that actually your moment of deep challenge caused you to find something that helped you, but you've used it to then help others. And this is a core part of your story, which I want our listeners to kind of reflect and learn upon. Even if we find something of challenge that hits us, actually, how do we turn around? Is there something we can take from it and use it, which your story tells us?
Yeah.
So time flies when we're having fun in the Leadership Lounge. I said you'd just be like chatting, and time will fly as we talk it through. We often finish our Leadership Lounge with kind of up to 3 top tips that we would share with our listeners from what we're learning today. And our learning today is around your business and how you've taken something that was a challenge and using it for good. And the whole premise is actually about Ubuntu, being the human to others, the lovely individual vases with the jugs. What were they called again? Your jugs? Affirmation jugs with the affirmation cards on, the uniqueness of all the different vases and the beauty of flowers lifting people's spirits, and also making a difference in terms of some of the profit that's made goes then towards Suffolk Mind. But through all of this, what are the top tips that you would like listeners to take from both your personal story and the story of your business? What are the up to 3 things?
I would say if you are struggling with your mental health, and you're like I struggled with certain therapies and things, really struggled with mindfulness and stuff. So my flowers were my mindfulness without knowing. So I would say if you struggle with things like that, start a hobby, which could end up being a business.
Your case, a business,
or just make sure you talk to people, mental health wise. And if you think you can do it, you probably can. I've never been that positive, so I have had to learn to do that. So I would say and if you ask someone how they are, listen to the response, because I think we don't do that. I don't know, really.
I think you've given us some beautiful ones in there already, haven't you? Just that sense of looking after yourself, find your version of mindfulness. And mindfulness is actually just being present in the moment. And actually, when you're doing your flowers and arranging it, you're present in that moment.
Yeah.
So find your version of that, I think, is great. And, another important one that you just mentioned is that sense of looking after yourself, but also listening to others. If someone's saying how they feel, just be present and listen. And that will make a huge difference. So wonderful top tips. And I mean, you added the next one in there. If you think you can do it, you probably can.
Yeah.
So if anyone's listening, thinking about something, hopefully your story will encourage them to take a step into that space as well.
Yeah.
So,
hopefully.
Laura, thank you ever so much for joining us, for sharing some deeply personal parts of your story, and thank you for that.
If it can help someone, I'm happy with that.
Absolutely. And as you've heard, you have a lot physically and emotionally that you still manage and deal with.
Yeah.
And so thank you for sharing that story. And our hope is that will encourage others as well.
Yeah.
And so if anybody, wants some beautiful flowers that will last forever, then Embrace Forever Flowers, just Google that and you'll find that website for you. And just want to turn to you as listeners and thank you for joining us in the Leadership Lounge. We hope you've enjoyed it. We hope you've learnt a lot from today's session, and we look forward to seeing you again next month.